Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I have a video for you today on a sheath I just made for this RAT-3, and this one is going to Chris. And Chris, buddy, I'm so sorry, I don't remember where you're from. I gotta look at my notes. Anyway, Chris ordered this sheath, and he asked. We went back and forth for a while trying to figure out exactly what to put on it, but he wanted me to build him a right-handed scout carry sheath, which means it's going to be behind his back, and he'll reach back and grab it and draw it horizontally with his right hand. So in other words, it'll be identical to the setup that you would want if you were carrying it on your left hand side. So you got to think about that. If it's left hand vertical sheath for dominant left hand draw, then that sheath would just tilt 90 degrees, the handle toward the rear, and rotate around to the back. So when you're doing right hand scout, it's actually a left hand carry setup otherwise. So anyway, that said, so he wanted his RAT-3 sheath with a ceramic rod on the face and a flashlight holder along the edge, and just so happens that he and I have the same flashlight. This is a Coast G20, and it's a little pen light. It's a nice little kind of inspection light or mechanic light. So it's a little bit long for the knife, which means that, you know, looking at the section of the knife that the Kydex is going to be on, this is going to be a really big part of the sheath. However, it is worth it if you want this particular light on there. It's not too ridiculous. You can fit that on there. It's not heavy. So if this is what you just like to use and you're going to use, then, you know, by all means do something like that. So, all right, here we go. This is basically, he wanted it in black with Cryptek Neptune and Cryptek Extreme Orange on there, so I just kind of incorporated it how I best thought it would look. Trying to use some blue here and the orange to separate it in the middle. You get a nice little click going in. There's no rattle, no play. Got a nice ballistic one-handed draw. Very comfortable sheath, and like I said, right hand scout. So there's not too much to show on this, but let me give you just a quick overview here. The ceramic rod, I keep these in stock. They're 4.5 inch by 3/8 inch, I think. Ceramic rods. They're really nice for just being able to field sharp and touch your blade up. If you need to do anything, you know, real serious, if you get a chip in the blade or you know, any real big rolling, you probably want to do a diamond hone or whetstones or something. But as far as touch-ups go, this is really excellent. So if you just maintain with this, you probably never need the other two. Anyway, they don't have a hole in them to connect any shot cord to, so I make these little handles for them. And this is something that I picked up, this idea from Jeremiah from Country Prepper CP Kydex, who I don't think is making them anymore. I don't think he's making sheaths anymore. But I used to watch his videos, and that inspired me. So anyway, Jeremiah, if you happen to see this, thank you so much. You came up with some really beautiful sheaths, so I really appreciate your work. Alright, so we got that, and I'm tying all my shot cord now with a double knot so that you have a little bit more to grab onto. I used to do just one knot, and you know, it was fine, but this does make a bit of a difference in terms of having a better grip on it. So you just want to make sure that you loop over and grab around the holder for the sheath, so that if for whatever reason it does come loose, you'll never lose it. It'll just stay tethered. It'll probably never actually even get out of the tube. So the retention on the flashlight is very good. You should be able to pull it out with no problems, and obviously it is reversible, so it doesn't really matter which side you go through, whichever one feels more comfortable to you. But that's pretty much all I got on this. The only other thing I'll tell you, because I actually have gotten a couple questions about it, but if you have an ESEE-3 and a RAT-3, you probably already know a little bit about the history of ESEE in Ontario, but they're almost identical. I mean, the ESEE is just slightly longer. It's got a slightly larger handle, but the dimensions all around the actual meat and potatoes of where I need to you know, mold the Kydex to affect retention are, as far as I can tell, 100% identical. So when you put your ESEE in there, the click is just slightly more muted, but that's because the tip is going to be wedged into a little bit of a tight spot where it's something like 2 millimeters longer. So you'll be pushing the tip into a tight spot, but it does work. It does fit. Makes a nice sheath for it. The draw is just a hair harder, I think, also because that tip is being pinched. But you do have a good sheath. It's functional. It'll work. So I haven't tried it the other way around yet, molding a sheath for this and then using the RAT-3, trying to see if that fits, but I would imagine it's about the same, possibly with just a little bit of rattle in the tip. So in any event, they are interchangeable. And for those of you out there who are not knife nuts and you're asking why anybody would own two knives that are almost identical, I think all I can think of that comes to mind is like that meme that's floating around. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's Ray Liotta from Goodfellas, just like doing his ridiculous laughing face, his evil laugh, and the meme says something along the lines of, my wife said that I could get rid of my old survival knife because I bought a new one, or something along those lines. So you just don't understand, guys. But I suspect that most of you who are watching this very well understand why you would own both of these. So anyway, RAT-3 sheath. This one's going to Chris. Thank you, Chris, for your order, and I hope you enjoy your sheath, brother. All right, guys. I am going to sign out now because I'm tired and rambling and need to go to the post office. So thanks for tuning in. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and stick around for the next one. God bless.